Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Today we are working on our fake Xbox or fake. I'm so used to everything being fake around here. We're trying to work on our real Xbox controller. Um, and today's goal is to try to work towards finishing up all the mechanical stuff. So, this is what we have so far. All right, we have a little Xbox controller, right? We've modeled him out of clay. Let's see if we have that picture here. We started with something that we made out of clay, and we 3D scanned it and brought it in here, polished it up, printed it a couple times, did a few iterations, and this is where he's sitting right now, current state. So, uh, he looks a little bit weird. That's okay. That's kind of part of the design is that if I'm gonna be making an Xbox controller for myself, I might as well make it fit my hand right. And it turns out that I hold my right hand kind of fucked up, and so it's kind of just built around that. We've printed it, and it fits good in my hand. Let's go full cam and not forget to turn it off. Right, this is the latest print. So, or maybe it's not. This is the latest print. So he's got the idea is he's gonna have a couple back paddles here, four triggers, two bumpers, and then buttons for the pinkies. I hold it with my left hand, and then right hand kind of sits on top, kind of slides around as I press buttons on the front face. We need to fill this guy with electronics, right? And so to do that, we need to print a PCB. We're gonna staple a Raspberry Pi Pico on top, one of these guys. Raspberry Pi Pico. Right, we're gonna slap one of these guys on the board, connect all the buttons, connect the joysticks, connect the triggers, all that shit, and then talk over USB to our computer. So before we get all the electronics in place, we need to know where they're gonna go, right? Where are the buttons for this thing gonna be? Are we happy with kind of the feel? Is a question that I want to answer before doing the electronic stuff, right? So I bought a bunch of different button samples because I didn't really know what they would feel like. We just kind of went on DigiKey and we went to button, right? Tactile switches was the category. And I think that we bought something that, I think we sorted by popularity ish or how much stuff they have in stock, kind of accounting for price and stuff. And I think we ended up looking at something that resembled this guy, this guy, this guy, and I think there were a couple others for the bumpers and stuff. But my problem was that I had kind of no frame of reference for what a good button is, what makes it feel good, how much force these things need. So I got the sample pack the other day, and it's not actually this one. It's one that's a little bit shorter, but I have one that feels relatively good. I think it was, if we go here, it would have been, probably it was one of the ones that was shorter. Oh, we'll find it later. We'll find it later. But anyways, we have some buttons, so we kind of know now what we're gonna try to press. We need to print some plastic to make it fit that shape. So what's gonna end up happening is there's gonna be a PCB kind of sitting in here somewhere. We want to put buttons all over the place, figure out where they're gonna go, and ideally print something where we can kind of test that when I actually take a piece of plastic and hook it up here, that when I press it, it feels okay. So that's the goal. We probably won't get all the way there, but the overall goal is for us to get to the point where we have full assembly to the point where we can be confident that we can print the PCB. So that's fun. Give me 1 second. I put on a sweater before streaming. It's just too fucking hot. So I'm gonna go put on a t-shirt. Be right back. All right, all right. So yeah, What's got to get done? We need uh all of this stuff. All of this stuff. So we'll probably just kind of go through piece by piece, start knocking it off, and get moving and grooving. How do I clear these annotations again? There's a button here for it. Cool. Cool. So can we bring this down? So first up, I think, is to finalize trigger housing. So figuring out where all the triggers are gonna go. Kind of makes, like, changes the PCB layout, right? Because the way that these triggers work is they have like a little mount inside. They kind of rotate around this guy. They're stopped by these little tabs at the bottom. And then this is supposed to like go up and press on something on the back of the PCB. So we gotta figure out where all these guys are gonna go so we can figure out where all the buttons are gonna be placed. Is this gonna collide? This is a problem. Yeah, this is cutting it real close, huh? If this button is also trying to press on the back of the PCB, it is gonna shit itself a little bit. So maybe we can rotate the trigger just a little bit without really any consequence. Or we can probably move the button a little bit without any consequence either. Let me feel like where my hand is. Sliding the button much farther to the right, I wouldn't be able to reach it easily anymore, which is a problem. So let me just double check that is where in fact the hole is on this guy. Yeah, it's about right. Which makes me think, I think if we just rotate this trigger just a teeny weeny bit, that kind of solves that problem, right? Like we do that and now it like, you know, something like that. Now the question is that ridiculous? In terms of like how would I have to press that? That comes that means I've rotated it to be more flat, right? So instead of pressing it like here, it's like more, this kind of rotates all this way, I guess, which is probably okay. We could also just move the whole thing a little bit as well, right? Instead of rotating, let's make sure that we have like the housing copied correctly. I think there's a plugin that I'm supposed to use to copy paste transforms. Copy global transform, hell yeah, that's the one. So we want to make sure that like the housing for this thing is in the same spot, right? So this guy, copy, paste, there we go, okay, cool. I mean, how far do I have to move this to fix this? If I just like take this hole and move it by like, I mean, I said I can't move it much, but I can surely move it by like a few millimeters. Like, what is this overlap? Hello, I would like to measure, sir. Oh, that's like literally like 2 millimeters, like 1.5. Yeah, and I can go like a lot more than that. Yeah, so maybe I like that better. I think that's an easier fix. Let's do that. So we take this guy and we just move him a little bit. Boop, boop. Right, we just kind of move him over there. Seems kind of hype. I guess we might want to expand the width of this guy a little bit. So like, maybe like this. Maybe. Dude, we gotta fix whatever is causing this to be so fucking slow. When I like change parameters here, is gotta get fixed. Okay, so now the button is kind of lining up just on the edge of the trigger. Like, so before it was here, and now it's like the left edge of the hole is lining up like right here, you know? And so the question is like, can I fit there? It's like, where does my pinky land? I think that's fine. I think it's fine. We can always print it and see. All right. Fix collision between ring trigger and pinky button. Boom. Huge. All right. I'm not like super happy with kind of like this cave that's showing up in here, but also I like where the handle is like sitting on my knuckle here. Like here, my knuckle kind of rests right on this, or I guess like on this. However, I don't know how the fuck does it go where the cursor is. Ah, it does. It goes on the plane of the cursor. That's cool. So yeah, my knuckle is kind of sitting like on this thing, and so you know, raising this up doesn't really feel like an option, but also moving like this down is also not an option because this button needs to be like the same distance from the board as this one, right? Because we're trying to keep like I'm trying to make sure that all of the triggers are like the same piece. So maybe it's fine. Maybe it's fine. I'll have to print it and see. Cuz maybe my I'll just print like kind of like I'll just kind of like hit like the bottom half of the button with my ring finger and maybe that's fine. Maybe. Dude, I'm just kicking my dog's face by mistake because her face is like right under my foot and she's just like she does not give a fuck at all. Okay. Let's do this trigger, I guess. So let's figure out a placement that makes sense. Okay, where do I physically want to press this thing? When my fingers are like where they gotta go, it's kind of like pretty centered on this thing. It's kind of hitting this surface. Oops, gotta make sure to keep the same. There we go. It should be like kind of like this. And then, sorry, I'm just trying to feel it out a little bit. Yeah, I mean, rotated the way it's rotated seems fine as well. I think that the housing is kind of like a little, like with the initial print is kind of fucked up a little bit. I think where this button is, like, it could even be like this, you know, rotated like straight back, but I think probably this is fine as well. It feels like it flows kind of nice. Which means that we have to start expanding this guy. I want to figure out what like fix slow, like I don't know what the fuck. Something here is like really slow. Fix slow blender. Let's try to deal with that. So it's like whenever I like if I were to like start sculpting now, I think it's like all of these modifiers that I've got on this guy are really expensive, and it could be because like the initial geometry is just like too dense. Like, does it have to be this dense? Maybe not. This is also, so this is like 300,000 vertices. That's actually not, or 200,000. That's not crazy. Is it like getting worse? Hold on, hold on. Oh my god, I clicked something and it's just like, it's sitting there just chunking. Okay, so this is pretty bad. And I guess it's because when I solidify this thing to make him like thick, it's doubling the geometry, which is probably not great. So maybe we just go in here, and can we like decimate this by like just a little bit? What is it? Decimate geometry, like half it? Oh, I don't like that actually. I don't like that at all. I would like to keep it like kind of constant. Is there like a better way? Clean up. Um, Degenerate dissolve. Dissolve 0 area faces and 0 length edges. Limited dissolve. Dissolve selected edges and vertices limited by the angle of surrounded geometry. And decimate simplify by collapsing edges. Okay, not the biggest fan. Maybe we just like turn off all of these booleans for now. Like we just turn off the majority of stuff. Does that kind of make shit okay? That's kind of okay. And then what if I start like trying to sculpt this guy to fix this trigger? Is it like workable? So he needs like just kind of generally more space. Yeah, that's like workable. And if we turn off the solidify, oh yeah, that's smooth. Smooth, baby. You have too high poly count. I mean, too high is you know, that's subjective. Because I don't think that I really want to like lose the smoothness where it needs to be. I don't really want to like dissolve either, so I don't know. We'll see. So this has got to be something like this. We just kind of like, you know, work around the trigger. Smooth the motherfucker out. Womp. Okay. And then that edge looks like shit, so kind of smooth that out a little bit. Let's look inside. So if I turn back on solidify, he kind of just needs more space all around. All around. So we'll just draw on some shit, I guess. Womp womp. Okay, smoothy woothy. That whole he looks like such like a degenerate lumpy piece of shit, dude. Can we fix that? How do we like there we go. Inflate and then smooth, maybe. Perfect. It's perfect. Oops. Alright. Draw in a little bit. Let's just try to... Okay. Okay, that seems good. I think there's probably too much space on the bottom. Gonna do like a little grab and move. Well, I think the grab is what's really making it look pimply. Maybe make it the grab kind of bigger so that it kind of is having less of an effect on each individual vertex. Okay, that's probably starting to be about right. Solidify. We're gonna have a really hard time like installing that shit. This guy kind of this worked in terms of installation. So we can get like at around that level of, you know. Let's just kind of try to give him. Well, I guess we need to like we need to like put the assembly stuff in here so that we can take a look at that. So, who are we looking at for that? Probably like something like this. Nope. Layout. Yeah, so like something like this. Let's copy paste this, and we'll give him the same transform as this trigger. So we'll be like, copy this, and then paste it on this assembly. Okay, hype. And then I think we just make sure that everything like mounts easily. We can kind of actually like bring in some of this like above area. so that these guys can like mount a little easier. If we're just kind of like, you know, kind of like this, it'll kind of make it so that these guys don't have to like shoot so far down. Sure. We'll kind of fix the fact that it's poking through later. Looks like these feet do have room, and I just want to give like a little bit more room at the back because like installing this guy, this kind of needs to the trigger needs to like, he needs to kind of go like this. Hold on. He needs to kind of like rotate like this, and then kind of like come up like this, and then, you know, like this. And so it needs to be like enough room at the back here for this thing to like slide in. Is this thing gonna have gyro? No, I don't think so. I don't use it. I've heard great things, but you know, I haven't tried it, so I don't really care. I could always try it, but I'm not gonna like build this whole thing if I don't even know if it's good, you know? Is this doing anything? There we go, it is, okay. Doing with NURBS and CAD might be easier with better results. Not sure if Rickett has NURBS. The fuck is NURBS? I think I disagree. Yeah. I started doing something analogous to this in Blender and then got away from it because working with like keeping the geometry like right was like kind of hard. I'm kind of happier to do the shell with sculpting tools because like this like the housing in general I think is a very like artsy kind of thing, right? I think using art tools to like kind of meld this thing to the shape of my hand makes a lot of sense. And then using CAD for the more like precise geometry, like this assembly stuff, right? That's kind of how it makes sense to me. I don't know if like, you know, I might be stupid and I might be doing it wrong, but this has been like a successful approach for me so far. Okay, so we can kind of bring in, that's probably fine actually. Like we could kind of bring in like a very tiny bit, kind of like here. Yeah, kind of. Boom. Yeah, I mean, down there, this is intersecting with the geometry a little bit more than I'd like. You just kind of pad that out a little bit. Alright, that should fit. Yeah. I think that will likely install okay. Trying to learn how gyros work while it's fair to build one from scratch. Would be kind of fun. Gyros are kind of sick. Yeah, it's just mostly that I've just spent so much time like relearning my muscle memory on controllers and stuff. It's just like I don't really want to go through the hell that would be like dealing with learning yet another input method. And then I was imagining trying to play Fortnite with a gyro, and I was like, Jesus Christ, that sounds awful. Alright. That's in the wall. Good enough. This one is also fully in the wall. good enough. And then what about like the mount here? Whoop. Sure. These don't have to be perfect because they're just going to be like booleaned in with the actual geometry, and then the 3D printer will like kind of figure it out. So that's good enough for me. Let's just like triple check here. My Z height is negative 0.018417. Yeah, those are all on the same Z plane, which is hype. Hype. All right. One more, baby. Okay, so this guy goes like approximately here. Probably. Let me think about like how I want this to sit. Sorry, just grabbing the controller with my hands. Was it gonna ask actually, even people on Colmac or whatever, which is a global standard, sometimes complain about not being able to use anything else. You're gonna be more like, if this one physical specimen breaks, I'm screwed. Hold on, what the fuck is Colmac? Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. I agree. Yeah, so um it's why I try to use like the paddles I'm going to reserve the paddles for generally things that are less important, right? So I'm trying I generally am going to I used to use a controller with 4 paddles actually and then stopped and tried to reduce it down to like 1 or 2. Because of that problem, right? Where I don't want to like accidentally fuck my muscle memory so I can't use a normal controller at all. For a game like Fortnite, I'm willing to take that compromise because Fortnite there just aren't enough buttons on a normal controller. But like for like a game like Apex or something, I'm going to use the paddles for like ping, push to talk. I want one that like locks the joystick in place, right? So that I can have like an auto run type feature just for like convenience. And then I probably will have like, you know, one of the extra buttons will be for like saving a clip in OBS type shit, right? So I'm gonna try to make sure that I use like all of the standard like maybe not standard, but use like the buttons that would be on normal controllers for actions that would be in most games. And then like, you know, use the supplemental buttons for supplemental actions is kind of the goal. Cause yeah, I agree. I used to use a Dvorak keyboard and then I gave up because I was just like the benefit of Dvorak over QWERTY was like not really that measurable, and like the cost was because I just couldn't use other people's computers anymore. But yeah, I think that's like that is like a calculation you have to do every time you go like off standard. I have my caps lock key mapped to control and my control key maps to caps lock, and so every time I use other people's computers, I fuck up copy pasting. But that one is worth it to me because it like saves my hands just like a ton of wear and tear. You know? Um is that where I want it? Yeah. Okay, so this full area just needs to get a little bigger. Oh, we have to make sure that we didn't make this so much bigger than it used to be that my finger won't fit anymore. Because I think we did expand that back area by a lot. Which could be a problem. How do we compare? I didn't really keep the other one around. Was version 2 is close-ish. Yeah, like that's significant. Yep. Like super significant. So the question is, how much room do I have? Oh, I do have like a fair amount, right? There's like a good amount of wiggle in there. So depending on how much we expanded there, and so let's think about if we can like kind of dial that back in a little bit. Yeah, we don't need that much space. Like on the other trigger that I've printed and tested, which was this assembly. Like, this works. So here we can kind of bring this back in. This does not need to be like this. Is that moving? What the fuck is going on? Oh, I'm sculpting the wrong thing. God damn it. Did I just fuck up the assembly? Yeah, I did. That's so fucking annoying. Okay, so I want to sculpt this. Much better. Sculpt, please. Thank you. Much better. That strength is way too high. We just gotta make sure that there's room for my fingies. Alright, that's probably fine. I think that will install okay. Well, I guess we should check with solidify on. That's cutting it a little tight, actually. Let's give it a little bit more space. Kind of like here. Okay. And then how's this compare now? Oh, that's so much better, actually. Yeah, that's like barely fatter. And then we can always push the whole thing out a little bit too if we need to. But I think this will be fine. Let's actually give it just like a tiny bit more room. Kind of happy to do that. Alright. Yeah, that should be enough room for my finger. Should be. Okay. Let's make room for this next trigger now. Well. This love is taking its toll on me. There we go. Kind of lift all this stuff up. It's a little bit much. There we go. There we go. Smooth. Okay. Okay. Draw a little bit. Boom, boom. I wonder if like every mechanical designer in the world is just like looking at me being like, holy fuck, this is miserable to watch. What the fuck are we doing, man? Because surely this is not, you know, when that guy was like, you should be using fucking CAD, it's like, yeah, I'm sure like everybody who actually makes stuff thinks that. But I swear to God, like, this is a sculpty thing, this task. It feels that way to me. Wow, that's actually surprisingly good right now. Okay. So I think we need just slightly more room at the back here. Maybe the grabber. Oh yeah, let's just put up. Boom. Pull a little bit out. Just everywhere. Just give a little bit more room. I think here we have actually as much space as we want, like on the right side here. Because, like my hand is kind of coming in here. Kind of like in this area, nothing's happening. You know, so I have lots of room there if I want it. So I might as well just give it, just like, in case, like, rotating the thing a little bit helps with installation. Probably matters less for game controllers and general keyboard input. I guess the Dvorak thing. Just interesting to think about. Also, the bragging rights more than compensates for almost any downside. Yeah. I think, because, you know, if I have to go somewhere, I think bringing my controller for show and tell just makes it funnier. Right? If I'm like, oh yeah, I can't use your controller, I'll bring mine. And then I show up with like this. right? They'll be like, "What the fuck are you? What the fuck is going on?" I was like, "Yeah, I made it," and then I'll get laid or something. Right? Girls love guys who make their own Xbox controllers. I like this fantasy world that I just made up where I get invited to somebody's house to play video games, bring my own controller, and like a girl invites me to her house to play video games, and me bringing my controller over is what really seals the deal. It's just so fucking stupid. All right, assembly. Oops, this assembly's poking through now. Let's fix that. Oh wait, is he solidified right now? Are we solid? Oh, that's kind of interesting. I guess I have the solidify set up so that it doesn't move the outside shell, just the inside. Next stream will be realistic clay modeling. I need to figure out eventually a setup to film my hands. Because there's been a lot of stuff recently where that would have been like kind of useful. But not this second, I guess. Did I just duplicate something by mistake? Okay. We take this guy, copy, paste, and we give him the transform of this guy, copy, paste, hype, and then we make sure that this guy is kind of mounted okay in here. So we go grab these guys, move them down, just get them in the wall. Doesn't fucking matter other than that. I'm sure that for like, you know, maybe like angle of and like size of these things matters a little bit for like structural integrity. But you know, I'm sure it doesn't actually matter. Did I check here? No, I didn't check that it was like this won't fit. That's a problem. You should color it like a tardigrade. Oh god! I shouldn't have clicked that. Name it Ted. Ladies love pets. Yeah, that's a really good point, actually. I have a VR headset. It's pretty useful to see the model in 3D. Yeah, I can see that. Like size. Every time you get in VR, you're like, the size of things is not what I thought it was. We gotta fix. We gotta fix this. Just give him a little bit more room so he's not fucking smashing into the front edge here. What the fuck have I done here? I don't like what I did here. Undo, 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 undo. Let's do draw maybe? Wrong way. There we go. Solidify. Yeah, there we go. That's a little better. What about on this side? This stuff needs to come out just a little bit. Okay. What the fuck have I done here? There, like this, is this really right? Ew, what am I doing? The problem here also is like if I make it like a little too loose, then the travel distance will like it'll start like rattling around in there a little bit. So gotta be careful about that. This here is intersecting still. Yeah, that should be fine. We can always amend later. It's also funny to print something that's like this, like wiggly and waggly, and like looks kind of like shit. Right, this is like so clearly not like a thing that was modeled in CAD, but just like a thing that we poked until it looked about right. And something about that is funnier to me. All right, let's make sure that these guys are all kind of sitting in the right spots. That's in the wall, hype. That's in the wall. This guy's kind of leg looks really thin, huh? He's got like a little thin body. Let's kind of fix that a little bit. Oopsies. There we go. Yeah, sure. I bet you that'll work. Okay, let's bring back in. We need to cut the holes. We need to cut the holes. So I think that's this guy here. Can we just like, oopsies. Did I accidentally duplicate something that I didn't mean to? I think we're good. Okay, click this, duplicate, and then copy the transform of this, paste it on this, and then do the same again, copy this, copy the transform of this, paste it on here. So now we have these like cutters that should cut holes in the front. And then we can add these to here. So we say Boolean difference with this guy, and then another one, which is going to be off this guy. Okay, so now if we look at these, take the triggers out, we have these nice little cuts for the little front buttons to pad through, hype. And if we kind of look at how this sits in there, feels okay. All right. We also need unions with the these. So these guys need to become part of the same object. So we need a yet another set of booleans. So take this geometry. Sir, I would love for you to not crash and burn. All right, select this. Jesus, right? So this is taking forever. I don't really understand why, but we'll live. I wonder if it's because they're intersecting with like such thin geometry here that he's like, you know, the solver is having a really hard time like making it all the way down to like whatever resolution. All right, click, click. Give him a sec. He's thinking hard. Poor guy. Okay, so then we hide the actual assemblies. So we go on, you know, hide all of these, and all of the assemblies should still be chill. Hype, dude. All right, save. All triggers in place. Smile. Okay. And then let's bring back in the buttonholes. These guys. Which takes frickin' forever. Black. Oh my god, he's working so hard. Poor guy. There we go. No, still? There we go. Okay. So the question is do these, does this hole collide with the trigger setup at all? No, looks like we're chill there. This hole is like not flat, which might cause a little bit of a problem for the button, but it's probably fine. All right. All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay. So next up, I guess, is to get our PCB in place, which I think we started on the other day. I don't know if we PCB mock right here, this bad boy. Let's get the height of the PCB is determined by the height of this joystick assembly. This guy. I printed yesterday a set of holes to confirm that I understand how this thing mounts, which is pretty hype. And if I I had to do a couple iterations because we had to we just modeled this thing by hand. But I think if I push this in here, look at this. Look at that. He's sitting right in there. Isn't that hype? Look at that. So the idea is that I'm going to print this little plastic blob inside the controller, mount the little joysticks, and make sure everything kind of lines up. Yes, let's do that. So I guess we finalize trigger housing. And so next I want to do, maybe not PCB mount, but get PCB plane, which we kind of have ish. Maybe we do joysticks. So it should be. We need a FreeCAD to export the latest version of the housing. Okay. FreeCAD. Okay, open this guy. Yeah, look at that bad boy. So I guess we just take this, export. Yeah, and Blenderland. Import. Excuse me, sir, could you kind of go down to 1/1000th of your size? Thank you very much. And then we kind of just position this here. And which way is up? I guess it doesn't really matter. I guess we should probably match what they do on the actual PS5 controller. Not that it really matters that much, but it's like a good place to start. Right, so they mounted these things when you're looking from the back. This is the front, this is the back. So they kind of mounted it so that one of the sensors is here, one of the sensors is here. It makes sense for the sensors to be X and Y aligned, I guess. So we'll just kind of do this. Fuck it. There, that matches up with what they did. And then if we just kind of drop this here, that kind of lines up with the top of the hole, okay? Probably needs to be like this. Eyeballing here is probably not the play. What is our origin of this guy? We probably made the origin like the center. Hello? Oh, here, wrong one. Yeah, we made the origin the center of the cube. So if we just match the origin of this to whatever cylinder we put on top, we're chilling. So we're looking to center the orange dot in the circle. And again, we can fix this. Yeah, I guess fuck it. We'll look at, I think it's these cylinders. So we look at, when I go into edit mode, it just freezes Blender again. Hype. That's super cool. There we go. So if we just take this and we take the average X and Y positions, we can match these up. What the fuck, dude? Why is it frozen? Oh, because it thinks I edited it? God damn it, dude. Oh, alright. It's because of the Boolean on this. Can we... Jesus Christ. What just happened? Undo. Undo. What the fuck? That's why I was freaking out. Okay, this. Okay, copy. Paste. Hello? Paste. There we go. So if we just match that with this guy's position... Should that not... The fuck? Oh, maybe we need to apply rotation and scale so that these do what we expect them to do. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Is that right? No? Oh, maybe the cylinder needs his rotation and scale applied as well. Rotation 0, scale 1. Wait, then what's the problem? X, negative 17. Oh, the location of the cylinders is not. God damn it. Okay, this makes more sense. Okay, so this guy goes into here. There we go. We got there. We got there. We got there. All right. So there's stick 1. And then stick 2 goes in the other cylinder. All right, so it's this and this. All right. All right. Sure. Good song. I like it. This is what's on the playlist. All right. Cool. And then I guess technically we probably shouldn't make these guys like float above the PCB. They should be kind of like almost right on it. Okay. Hype. So I guess we need to fix the housing so that like the joysticks can rotate around in it. Right now it's just kind of flat, which I think is wrong. Blender is not responding. Fuck you. Fuck you. Why is it hello? KDE? Could you please let me look at my boy? It's clearly responding. That's so weird. I don't know how to fix this. Stupid Kwin. Oh, there we go. Just toggle on off. Okay, so this I'm not sure about how to do. Like, we need some sort of like bubble, right? Like, it's gotta be like, this has gotta come like up. Hello, annotations? Hello, annotations? Why can't I write anything? There we go. Okay, right, so this is supposed to come like up like this-ish, you know? And this shape is probably pretty precise, right? Because it needs to like fit so that like this guy can like rotate smoothly in there, right? I guess it does it. I guess not. Like, I don't think that the bubble in the stick, he's not going to be like rubbing up against the housing, right? He's going to be sitting kind of like on the stick that comes out of here. You know, he's just kind of like sitting on there like this, you know, whatever. But he's going to be hitting a circle, like the where the edge of the circle is important, and it has to be round. So maybe we just raise this a little bit. How much? I have no idea. We probably need to model like an approximate version of this guy. I don't think that this has to be like super accurate, the stick dimensions, because I'm not like printing it or anything. But I do want like a little bit of a rough feel. What the fuck's my tape measure? So like at the base, base diameter is like 24 millimeters ish. So here we need to like model sticks a bit. So base diameter was, what did I say, 24 millimeters? Then at the top, we're looking at more like eyeballing it like 9 millimeters. It's hard to tell because I can't get the tape measure right up on it. So I kind of have to guess a little bit. If only I had calipers. If only. Yeah, I'm pretty sure 9. Top, like the stick diameter 9 millimeters, and then like how far up does this go? Eyeballing it like 8 millimeters. 8 millimeter height of bulb. Right? So if we were to just kind of like, you know, kind of eyeball this a little bit, we could kind of go, I guess we like create a circle. No. With a diameter of 4.5 millimeters for the top. And then another circle with a radius of 12 millimeters on the bottom. And then we raise one of these guys. We raise one of them like up by 8 millimeters. And then can we assume that this thing is like modeling a sphere? And then just kind of fit it? Is that crazy? Probably a UV sphere actually works better here because it's got like X plane on here. So is there a circle that we can make that goes through, you know? Like that's pretty close. Right? Like that's gotta be almost right. And since my measurements were approximate, you know, any inaccuracy here is like probably fine. So can we like do now like add a cube who has a height of 8 millimeters, you know, scale him this way, and then move him up here. To line up with our stick, Where the fuck is our stick? Here. Can we do something that's like on the stick housing? I don't know, man. It's so hard to see anything. What if we kind of lined it up like this? Right? Then we do like Boolean intersection with this. Apply, delete. Okay. Right, that seems kind of reasonable. And then we can maybe copy this transform onto this so that we know he's centered. You know? This part doesn't matter, right? But it's going to look something like this. Right? Right? And so we just have to make sure that whatever hole we make kind of fits this right. Now, what we do need to know is like the maximum, like how far is this? Is like a thing that we need to look up. So I think that we don't really know exactly on this guy. We might be able to measure if I had like a protractor or a compass or something, which I don't. But we can maybe hope that all of these joysticks have a similar value. We could maybe hope that. Joystick. I think that we saw some of these guys here, right? So we can just maybe like look at a couple of these and just see if they have similar values here. 60, 50, 50, 60. So they're not the same. Get fucked us, huh? If we could figure out where the pivot on this is, which we do have here, I think. Yes. We can figure out where the pivot is on here and then math it out. So like here, I don't know if you guys can see this. This little white piece of plastic right there is like where this like plastic gimbal that's rotating this way is like rotating around. He's rotating around this, right? So we know exactly the center of rotation there, I think. Is that true? I think that's true. They are on the same plane on X and Y. I'm pretty sure that's the center of rotation. So if we measure from like the top, that's 4 millimeters from the top of the cube. Okay? So hold on. Let's go back to FreeCAD. Oh, right. Okay, so we have like... Okay, yeah. So we have some square here. It turns out that this is 11 millimeters by 13 millimeters. There is a circle inside this thing, right at the top. Right? And we can measure kind of what his radius is, or I guess diameter or radius, doesn't really matter. It's 1 centimeter. So I guess the box doesn't really matter. This is 10 millimeters here. So we have a stick that has rotation point pivot here 4 millimeters away from a 10 millimeter circle, right? So surely we can calculate the angle here, right? Because this is going to be a 4, 5, 4, 5. Surely we can A10 to that, right? Right? Because it's like tangent of this angle is tan theta is equal to 5 over 4. Yeah? A10, import math, A10 to 5, 4. This is in radians, so times 180 over math pi. 51 degrees. And then if we, is that, I mean, that lines up with some of the things that we saw in LCSC where it was, some of these guys had 26-degree deflection, right? So we've measured, we're very close to that, right? We're like, we measured 25.8 or something. So I think we just assume 26, right? Because it's similar, right? I think that's reasonable. That feels reasonable to me. Um okay. So we also know this guy's diameter. So we should be able to like rotate this around the pivot, which we know is 4 millimeters down from the top. So this is probably better suited to CAD, but fuck it. So we have Z here of 1 centimeter minus 4 millimeters is 0.006. So can we put the cursor at 0.006 height. So this is the pivot point. And then we need to make sure that his X location is the same as the housing body. Can we just copy this into the cursor? Okay. Okay. Hype. And then we can rotate this by 30 degrees around, or by 26 degrees around the cursor. And that should give us like a pretty good approximation of where the cylinder needs to end up. We can figure out exactly where that thing's supposed to go. Yes. So rotate around the 3D cursor by 26 degrees. That seems like, okay, we can also eyeball this, you know, to see like how fucking wrong we could be, right? If I just like take this guy and rotate him fully in one direction, you know, does it look around right? And I think it's, oh, hold on, let's do a side where it's kind of rotating towards, he's rotating towards this guy. It's so hard to hold and show. Right, so that's like, you know, about right. About. It's not like, you know, the sanity check isn't like you're off by an order of magnitude. Okay, I think that's reasonable. So this lets us decide kind of where the like top of the cylinder should go. I think looking at this guy, he's a little bit higher than like the minimum height there. So if we looked at this, bring me back the cylinder, please. That's kind of funny. We actually guessed this almost right. I guess we probably copy pasted from the Xbox controller. Neat. So I guess we should probably make this just a tad bigger. Just ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. Just like a little bit. Okay. And then we need to like I wonder if we do like a boolean with some like intelligent geometry here. Could be the play. I feel like eyeballing this is like a recipe for disaster. Right? If we were to just kind of like hit the sculpt tool on this guy until it like looks about right, that doesn't make sense. But what if? Yeah, I don't think it makes sense. I think what makes sense is to probably do another circle cut. Like, if we just. If we just did this, where we, object clear rotation. What the fuck? Oh, because the origin's not where the cursor is. Sure. We need to fix the origin of this guy. So this should be. I guess we copy the XY position of the fucking stick housing. God, this is. I feel like we're doing everything fucking brain dead here, but it's okay. Okay. So if we were to just cut this, hear me out. Right? And then expand it a little bit. Just to give like a little bit of room. And then intersect with a cylinder of the correct radius and height. Just of the right height. I think. Right, if we're just like. Is this crazy? Like, is this insane? If we're like, take this thing, Boolean intersect with this cube, then this is like stick intersect. Yeah, I think that does not work. I mean, but maybe if we like expanded this even more, like this. You know what I mean? Something like that doesn't seem crazy, and then we merge that geometry with the controller housing? Maybe? Right, if then again we do a also a Boolean difference with... You know? It is kind of odd that we're seeing this. That seems odd. But, like... I guess that means that we're using the wrong shape. Okay, wait. The concept here is not crazy. So there's something about intersecting... There's something about, like, setting, like, a flat plane here and a circle. But it might be, like, more that we're just supposed to, like, make something... As long as this circle on the inside is good, we can kind of do, like, this shape exactly. We can kind of do whatever we want. You know what? I'm missing something here where this circle will always let us see the edge of the fucking joystick housing, right? So, does that mean that we just don't get max deflection? I wonder if that's what that means. Is like we can't rotate this fully because we'll see the outside of this. Surely not. Surely not. But I mean, you can't cut this circle in any farther, or else this guy can't go all the way. So if you want to protect this from happening, you do just have to narrow it in. You don't have a choice. I'd be interested to see... Hold on, let me see if I can, like, find the controller I took apart. Okay, so on this controller I took apart, the question is when I put this front house on top, however the fuck that goes in, I don't know if I can, like, line this up easily. One sec, let me do it. What's going on here? There's, like, a plastic wire that's out of the... That's... Hold on. Let's... I need to fix this, There's, like, a plastic wire that's on here to, like, reroute an LED that's, like, not going where it's supposed to go. It's, like, fucking up the way this fits in the housing, which is making this impossible. God damn it, dude. Okay. Okay, it's not on perfect, but the question is when I rotate this joystick, am I hitting the plastic or am I hitting, like, the stop on the guy underneath? And the answer here is not relevant because this is a different housing. So that's actually not helpful. So this was a... But I guess we can still use it for comparison. A little bit. God damn it, dude. If only I could get the fucking thing on. Fuck it. Okay, hold on. Have you thought about what MCU you're using? Are you going to use Linux or TOS? So I'm going to uh well, I'm going to use a Raspberry Pi Pico and just like solder the whole fucking board on top of the PCB. Like just take all of this and solder on top, and then we're going to like raw dog the controller firmware in Zig. It's going to be influenced by measuring the pivot point. I didn't 100% pay attention on how confident we are on that. One heuristic might be if the pivot point is the center of the circle, it could be extrapolated from the cap. One sec. Why is Blender broken again? Is Blender just freaking the fuck out? No? Why can't I rotate then? I just can't click anywhere? Why not? Oh, that's weird. FreeCAD was eating my mouse clicks. This could be... Let's think about that. So if the pivot point is too low, which it might be, I think you're right. So this is at 10 millimeters, pivot point's at 6 millimeters. I don't know if I really like believe that. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I fucked this up. I think I was reading this in local space, but this guy's high. So this should be 2 millimeters higher. Good eye on that. Good eye on that. So can we clear the rotation here? And then also fix his translation. I guess we can just take the real thing, paste again. I think you're right. The cursor does look like it's in the wrong spot. The measurement, I think, was pretty sound, but our application of that measurement was not sound. So this needs to go to 8 millimeters so that he's 4 millimeters below the top of this guy, and then we can try the rotation again. So we want to rotate in Y. Hello. Whoa, what the fuck did I just do? Okay. Rotate in Y by 26 degrees. Yeah, good eye, good eye. I did just have the pivot point wrong. Which means that now this cylinder can be skinnier. And maybe that fixes this. It's so hard to fucking see, dude. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Good fucking eye. I mean, again, it's not like perfect, but now this is like, you know, somewhat sane. I guess we should just get like calculate this, right? So we're looking at fuck it. Yeah, I'm way happier with that. And then even if this is like a little bit too short, like that's fine because it just means that when we calibrate, we'll calibrate the sticks to find like their max deflection, and that'll just be a little smaller. But like the calibration process will handle that in firmware if it's like a little bit wrong. So I'm okay with this thing. That seems kind of sick. And so, am I right in saying that we can just take whatever the fuck this thing is? This is controller, like joystick bump, my lovely lady bumps. And then I think I can just union this with the original controller. I think. We're taking so many shortcuts here instead of doing like proper CAD. We're just like, oh yeah, I'll just look with my eyes. Fuck it. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow. But that looks pretty good, I will say. Who needs numbers when you have eyes? Yeah, dude, I agree. So I think we copy paste this geometry and we just copy the transform of this guy. Copy the XY position of this guy only, actually. Okay, which did not seem to do what I wanted it to do, to be honest. Oh, probably because he's not intersecting with the cube anymore. Which, this can be fixed. So his Y position didn't copy right, I think. There we go. Okay, so now he's in the right spot, but this cube that we're intersecting with is a problemo. So we called this like something intersect, did we not? Stick intersect, we called it. Where the fuck is that here? So if we just you know, expand this guy on the Z plane like this, I think that fixes it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then honestly, I want to make this a little bit smoother, but he doesn't like that. If I do it here, if we do it here, make him like a little bit. Interesting. I wonder why this happens. I don't really want to solve this problem, so we'll just leave it like this. That's fine. That's fine. Fuck it. Fuck it. Okay, so here, Boolean at the very beginning. Oh my god, everything's so slow. Sir, could you explain the meaning of the CAD term "my lovely lady bumps"? I wonder if is that on this playlist? My humps? It's not. Hell yeah, we can add it. That's what it's called, right? Yeah, that's the one. Um. So what was it? Oh fuck! I clicked something and now Blender's fucking freaking the fuck out again. It's dumber than I remembered. I'm not gonna lie. So we want union. It is so dumb. It's crazy. It goes all the way back around to being genius. Yeah, I can kind of get behind that. This is joystick bump. The first one. Dumb underflow. Yeah, it's an that's so funny. I like that concept. Dumb underflow. I think I might like say that in real life. That's just a funny phrase. It like perfectly like explains like all of Family Guy. Like anything that they do that's funny, it's because it wrapped all the way around. Just, what are you gonna do with all that ass inside that jeans? It's so stupid. It's so stupid. All right, how we looking, dude? Now he's just saying milky, milky cocoa. What the fuck are we talking about? Okay, we gotta. This can't be front and center anymore. This is the stupidest thing I've ever fucking heard. Sorry, yeah, yeah, my bad. He said milky cocoa puff. My bad. Sorry. I should have. I got. I wouldn't want to be disingenuous here. I wouldn't want to. Can this just be flat here? This can just be a cylinder, I think, right? Because we've kind of measured this so that he kind of hits around here. I think that's fine. I think we've all learned something about your cat. Yes, thank you. uh, sick. So I think that kind of means we've modeled sticks. We've made the stick housing round. And then in reality, we could do whatever we want with the housing around here as long as it like lined up here. But this is fine. This will work. Okay. Let's checkpoint here. This is worth writing down. Joystick housing. All right. So next up, I think is what would be really, really nice is if we could kind of test the feel of the buttons. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna make a hunk of plastic, right? We have like these little buttons that we bought from DigiKey, right? And like this is gonna sit on the PCB underneath some sort of like column that probably looks something like this. You know what I mean? Actually, it's probably more. This thing's really small, so it's actually probably more like this. You know, something like this. And then this guy's gonna have like, you know, some guides that come down from the controller housing or something. Maybe this is gonna like kind of slot out like this into like some, you know, something that drops down like this or something. But like the springiness of the button is entirely determined by this thing, right? So before I commit to making a PCB with this button, like I would love to be confident that the button feel after I like do all of this is okay. Oh, it's not playing this playlist anymore, huh? Is this, are we playing? Yeah, we are. Oh, ow, ow, ow. Okay, there we go. So like, the question is can I 3D print something that like lets me mount this button before making a PCB, right? So these buttons are like, they're a variant of this. I think we wrote it down somewhere. I think. Button options. It would have been this one. Would have been this guy. No, it wouldn't have. Dude, what the fuck did I buy? I have to like look at my purchase history and I don't want to do that on stream. It's got a shorter tip, so can we look at the series here and look for one that looks about right? It would have been one of these. 38S SK or SM. I think it was the medium tactile one. It was 180 GIFs. Yeah, that's right. This is the one. So the question is can I make like something where I put this thing in the in like a piece of plastic that will keep it in place enough for me to test the whole thing together. And we probably only have to test one button, not all of them, right? Probably one is good enough. Because they'll all have the same feel as long as we cut the same holes. So maybe we will say like button test jig. And then buttons is a separate action. So like surely we can probably like in plastic. I think if we printed something that was like if we printed something that was like a wall here and then a wall here on either side, you know, that would keep it in place. And then we could like test the feel. I think that makes sense. And we know the dimensions of this stuff, so we can probably just create like some bumps, some lovely lady bumps. I think that's probably the play. So can we call this like save as like button test jig? So there are CAD models, but I actually don't think that's what we want right now. I think we actually want just the fucking drawings here. Yeah. So this is 4.5 millimeters by 4.5 millimeters. This distance is 3 millimeters plus minus 0.2, and then this is 0.7 millimeters across here. So that's all we need. That's all we need. So here we're like on the XY plane. Let's make a drawing. So we want what is effectively 4 walls, right? We want one wall that's like here. And then we want one wall like here, right? Okay. So I guess we can make some construction geometry. Maybe is the place to start, actually. Yeah, let's do that. Fuck. What'd I do? Let me back at the sketch, baby. Fuck everything. We'll do a construction geometry that's just like a box. Bop, 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 bop. And here we will say that, you know, this is, you know, symmetric around the X and Y axis, I guess. Keep them centered, keep them safe. Keep it secret, keep it safe. Keep it centered, keep it safe. That it's from the trailer, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, trailer 2. Probably. I think about this all the time. Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, trailer 2. I watched this so many fucking times. I'm pretty sure it's this one. I gotta make sure that the sound here doesn't get into the recording. Jesus Christ, that was loud. Because YouTube will ban me. Little bitches. Little bitches. How come audio volume applications? This, like, oh, because it's unmuted. Hold on, wait. Firefox Developer Edition, go to stream audio only. Is this the one? Is this where they say get off the road, hide? Maybe it wasn't trailer 2. Theatrical trailer 2, maybe? I could have sworn. No, maybe it was trailer 1. There's one where he says, keep it secret, keep it safe, and get off the road, hide. That's like a banger trailer. Oh, is it here? Is it secret? Is it safe? There's still audio, by the way. Yeah, but it's not getting recorded. That's intentional. So like it's you're hearing it now, but it won't be in the pod. Anyways, would you be interested in creating a mobile OS? I've thought about it. I have I have one of these guys, a Pine phone, which was like a Linux phone made out of like really shitty components, and the software sucked. It's the kind of thing where like we really could go down the rabbit hole of trying to make this thing not suck. That's like a definite option. But I think that would be quite the undertaking. Okay. So what are our dimensions here? 4.5, 4.5. Sir, I would like to make a 4.5. Thank you. Yes, Pine phone is optional. I liked them when I first got it. To use the camera flash, you had to go into sys class LEDs and like toggle it in the terminal. I was like, this is a fucking banger phone, dude. Anything where you have to do that is awesome. I power mine on once every few months to see if it doesn't suck, and it's always bad. Yeah, I've been there, dude. Okay, so now we have this like construction geometry that we can kind of build off of. So pins, I guess we want to make the pins too. Okay, I guess non-construction geometry is easy on this side, right? We just kind of do something like this, right? Now, this is going to be the actual wall, and he's going to sit right here. We probably want to add some tolerance here. So I think what actually makes sense is for us to kind of make something like here, right? And then this is going to have some sort of distance here, some sort of like low distance, like 0.3 millimeters or something, right? And then we can make this like wall. It doesn't really matter how thick it is, but we can kind of make it like, you know, a millimeter thick. Seems reasonable. And then these have to be equal length. And then this is mad because I didn't constrain the distance. I constrained not vertical distance, but just overall distance. So I want to constrain vertical distance to 0.3 there instead. Now this can slide this way. And I guess we constrain like this point and this point to be on the same axis. There we go. Okay. Sure. Fuck it. Now on this side, we know that these are 3 millimeters across minus 0.7. So 2.3. And then with some tolerance. Right, so this needs to be like you know, 2.2. doesn't have to be perfect, I don't think. Like, if this guy slides around to there a little bit, that doesn't really affect the testing, I don't think. So this guy's symmetric. And then we want to keep this guy maybe like 0.5 millimeters from here. Okay. And then otherwise, we kind of just say this is a millimeter thick here as well. Blaze it. Cool. So these are kind of like our little slots where we're going to make walls between this thing. So we pad this out. 3, 1. It doesn't really have to be that tall. Okay. Now, why is that only padding one of the two fucking boxes? Hello? Am I crazy? What the fuck is going on? Hello? Sketch? The fuck? We doing some modeling today or not? Unfortunately, yes. What are we modeling? Sorry, I missed that one. We're trying to make, okay, so we are trying to make, we've got like these buttons. We're trying to put some bigger buttons on top, so like made of plastic, and we want to make sure that like the feel is okay when we like finally mount this on the PCB, right? And so we're just like right now modeling like some walls to hold this in place. Select the body and then the data tab. Select allow compound true. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's already... Is that not this? You're saying allow compound, but that doesn't seem to exist. Maybe I go in here. How do you even start a project? Is it you're bored and something comes to mind or something else? Or do you recommend how... do you get recommended project that help you grow? Not the pad. Oh, I see. Thank you. That's helpful. So I find that like the biggest thing for me is that like I encounter a lot of things in the world that like irritate me a little bit. Right? I think that like for me, like frustration paired with curiosity is like the most motivating thing, right? So we started here. This whole project started because I was annoyed that I don't have a push to talk button on my controller. And there's like a paddle that I don't use that I could use as push to talk if the controller firmware allowed it, right? And then that just snowballs into we're making our own controller, right? But like you can see how we start somewhere where it's like I have a problem that I want to solve, and then like you just like allow like the curiosity train to just go fucking amok. That's how most of this stuff happens. So I find like, yeah, I'm annoyed by something, or how does this work? Like I see something like, what the fuck is that? Those are like the two things that like really get me going. In older versions, you need to model the base that constrains that connects to those pieces first. Ah, makes sense. Makes sense. Thank you. Have you just on the PCB already? I'm trying. Like the goal right now is to figure out where the pieces on the PCB are gonna go, right? So I want to make sure that I like finish up the mechanical part before doing PCB, because I know that like if I end up moving these buttons around, then that's gonna like end up causing problems, right? Like it means I'm gonna have to go back into the PCB and move them around, and so I just want to like solidify this stuff first. Can you please slightly move the microphone cable? There's very slight interference, you know, like when the microphone is not fully connected. Oh, interesting. I can jiggle it a little bit. But, I mean, this is also a USB cable, so I don't think that's a problem. It might be, I have like a noise gate on there. Like a AI-assisted noise gate that might be fucking it up a little bit. Alright. So, can I mirror this shit now, please? Yeah. Can I mirror it twice? I remember running into problems here last time where this didn't work the way I wanted. Right, like I could mirror once, but if I try to mirror the mirror, then he gets angry. So maybe this approach was wrong. Can we multi-transform? Hell yeah, okay, sick. That's just like a button I can press. Linear, polar, create multi-transform. Hell yeah, thank you. Dude, having you guys exist, telling me exactly what to do, pretty sick. Now what? Add feature. What if I just like press OK? What does this do? Add feature. I want to pad transformations. Ah, here we go. Add mirrored transformations. Hype. Here we go. Yep. And then add mirror transformation on the horizontal sketch. Ah, fuck yes, dude. Let's go. Hype. Hype, 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 hype. Okay, so if we like grab the CAD for this guy and drop him in, we should see that like our little container fits kind of good. Kill me. It sucks. Wait. What are my options? I can get 2D models. I wonder if any of these are importable into FreeCAD. I guess, oh well, whatever. We can just assume this is right for now. We'll just assume it's right. Okay, so in terms of like actual button that we'll be making, I guess it depends on the height here of the PCB to the height of the controller, right? So we want our buttons to kind of poke up to like here or something, right? Like a little bit over the front of the controller. So I guess we can just kind of be like super approximate here. It doesn't really fucking matter that much. If we're like a little bit too tall, I don't care. So we're talking like, you know, 14 millimeters ish to like top a button. I think that's fine. This will poke out a little bit more on the right side. I think I'm okay with that. We can maybe also try to shave it down a little bit after, but I think I'm okay with like for now. Let's just start with everything being a cylinder that goes straight up to like the same height. So we'll say 14 millimeter height to PCB from top of button to PCB. Then we know that the button itself has like that is on the PCB has some height to it. So where is our CAD here? The gotta be careful here because I think that these button heights are different. This says 0.3 here, but is that true if I click on this one as well, which is like from the same series? Does it have the same datasheet? Yeah, that's confusing. So this is like not necessarily... Oh, I see. It's H here. And H comes from the part name, right? Yeah, here. So we're using the 3.8 millimeter one, which is coming from the bottom to the top. So we just say 3.8 from bottom of button to top of button. Been watching since Vamp, excited to catch us live instead of VOD. Hey man, what's up, what's up? Apologies for the VOD uploads for these not being so consistent, but it's just because like the modeling stuff is so disorganized and YouTube also just does not give a fuck. So it's hard for me to like figure out what's worth posting and what's not. But glad to have you here. Glad to have you. And then this is just 2.9. Without revealing too much, you have a full-time day job? No, I just do this. I'm fun employed, we call it. 2.9 millimeters from base to bottom of button. Sirius giving me some motivation to work on a custom mouse project I abandoned a few years ago. Hell yeah, dude. That sounds so sick. I'm a big fan of just like, it's cool that you can just make stuff. I'm like, when I bought the 3D printer the other day, and just like, it's so sick that you just like draw a thing and then you have it in your hand like 30 minutes later. That's so fucked. It's so cool. And like, man who's never made anything with his hands is like, wow, you can make stuff. It's like, kind of fucking stupid, but it's exciting to me. Okay. So I guess, what's like the diameter of these holes? Is this like a piece of information we have? Yeah, we do. If I click this, and then this, we're going 0.041113 to 0.05252. So like 1.1 millimeter. Oh wait, is that centimeters? Yeah, so this is 11.5 millimeters ish. So like 11 millimeter diameter. Seems pretty reasonable. Watch us learn from your mistakes. I want to design my own micropads. This is an incredible wealth of knowledge. Well, I mean, incredible wealth of knowledge if you're trying to see mistakes for sure. Because it's not an incredible wealth of actual knowledge. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But I do agree that it's nice. Like, mistakes are helpful. Mistakes are definitely helpful. So this like, why am I stuck now? Can I get out of this? Like, what the fuck? Am I stupid? Like, why am I stuck? Oh, here we go. I hit escape a few times, now we're chilling. Okay. Scroll up in the task panel. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was up here. Okay, got it. Thank you. Okay. So I guess we are going to make a cylinder. Probably. Seems reasonable. So here we're like, we have a 11 millimeter diameter circle. So we're like 11. Yeah, okay. And then he's fully constrained. We pad this guy out by 14 millimeters, I guess. Okay, then we probably, like, can we just, like, bevel this shit by, like, a lot? Oopsies. Like, by, like... do I have, like, an option to, like... I guess this isn't exactly what I want. I don't really want, like a very, like, clear fillet, like, or, I kind of want something that's, like, a circle. Maybe I just, like, take a circle and cut it on top or something. I kind of want this to be, like, round and, like, short. Hello, what are we doing today? The goal is for me to not have to do any modeling anymore. You can groove an arc. Isn't that only in one dimension, though? Oh, but then I spin it. Then I spin it instead of extruding. Yeah. Good call. Yeah, so the goal here is to try to get as much done as I can to like finish prototyping all of the like mechanical bits and pieces for my Xbox controller that I'm making. Right, so we're trying to get closer to making this thing sane. We've got our like joystick slots. I'm trying to like make a PCB eventually that like a fake PCB out of plastic that we can mount inside and like get a feel for buttons and joystick placement and stuff. We need to like make like a mounting mechanism as well as like a way to assemble the controller in two pieces. What we're working on right this second is trying to get like buttons, right? So we have some of these, right? And we're gonna like put these on like the plastic here. We're gonna like mount them in here to test the right spot, and then we have to like have like a column that we press on it with. So you're done with writing custom drivers and you're writing a whole controller from scratch? Yeah. We're expanding the universe of possibilities. We're going straight into just whatever the fuck this is. So I guess you're like, I guess I like what? Make a groove. And so I guess first I make a sketch, create body, create sketch on like this plane. I like take the arc tool and I put the center here, and then like, you know, that's a circle, not an arc. My bad. But also like an arc. Oh, I guess I make like the like I like take the center and put it like really far down, and then you can kind of do something like this. Yeah, that's great. Okay, okay, I think I understand. So this needs to go like even farther down, and then I want to cut out something like this. I think. I think. Just the center? I'm not really convinced it wants to be to the center. Because doesn't the center oh, you mean center of the cylinder? Yeah, I see. Need a closed loop? Makes sense. Okay, so here you go like, you're saying I do something that's like this? I'm worried that this is gonna, like, I've got it backwards. I need to figure out what the groove does first. Hold on. Let's just make like a simple sketch, and let me just like see what it does. So if I like just make like a little line here, and then I turn this into a groove. However the fuck we do that. Groove. Do I move this in here maybe? Groove. Groove is selected sketch. Okay, so I've got this selected, but there's no solid. So can I not move this sketch into the other body? I guess not. Oh, yeah, so I guess here I create the sketch that I want to groove in there, I guess, is what they're saying. So I'm like, I don't know, man. It doesn't really fucking matter. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Close, groove. This did not do what I expected it to. Oh, here we go. That does. Oh, of course, because if it cuts it all the way off. Okay, I see. So this cuts. This cuts. So it means that I want to, okay, nuke this body. So here, can we like project the geometry of like this? And then from there, we can do something that's like, do I even need that geometry? Maybe I don't. Maybe we just eyeball it. We'll see. Okay, so here I'm like, give me some fucking arc. Boom. And then here it doesn't really matter, as if I go all the way out, it's fine. I can like go way too far. And then just do like this. Right? And then if I were to groove this, that would make a button that looks not like shit, I think. Oopsies, cancel. Yeah. There's the shit, dude. That's not bad at all. Okay. So now we probably need to like add some constraints to our sketch, right? Like this doesn't fucking matter, so just like 8, I don't give a fuck. Then this. And then this is fully constrained, surprisingly. That surprises me because I don't think that I didn't think I constrained like this. Oh, but he has to be on the y-axis, I see. So now these 2 dimensions completely define the arc, which is fine, right? If I were to make this way shorter, the arc would be shallower, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Hype. Hype! Cool. You can set the radius instead of height if you want. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. I'm not worried about it. Okay. So now on the bottom side of this thing, this is a problem, right? Because he's got to have a hole for the button to go into. So, you know, we have... Where is our guy? Fit. Hello? Oh, this isn't visible. There we go. Right, so our button is going to be like sitting in this little holder. And one, we need to make sure that when we, when we put this button into the hole, he's got to not like wiggle around, right? So probably it makes sense for in the controller for like a column to come down from these to kind of like house the whole thing. And then ideally, probably this thing doesn't spin. At the very least, it shouldn't fall out, right? So like the way this is right now, we would just drop this in the hole and then he would just like fly all the way out. So we probably actually need to pad out like some segment below. Right? So that we drop him in from behind and then the PCB, like, how do I show this? Like we have the hole. We maybe have like a column like this around the hole. And then you kind of drop it into this column so that this kind of like comes out like this, you know? And then like these hooks here keep it from falling out the top. And then, this whole thing kind of comes down and sits on top of the button here that is actually pressing. So you probably want something like kind of like this, right? So I guess that means before doing this bubble thing, I think we need to restructure this. I think we want this whole thing to be fatter. So we add maybe an 11 millimeter diameter hole. Maybe we add 1 millimeter on each side for like to keep them from falling out. So this sketch becomes, not this sketch, sorry. This guy becomes a 13 millimeter thing. And then, oopsies, what the fuck did I just do? Undo that. Then from here, we want to maybe draw a sketch on the top. You know? Oh, I need to select this. And I want to select, anchor this to the top of this guy. Also, the whole height of this guy needs to come down then, actually. Right, so this guy's 14 millimeters. What's like the thickness of our controller? I think we have it padded at like 1.5 millimeters, maybe 2. 1.5. So this has to be down to like 14 minus 1.5 is 12.5. Then like it has to actually stick out. So maybe this is like 12. And then, oopsies. So this should be 12 millimeters. And then the actual button part would be like another 2 millimeters higher, I guess. Is 0.5 millimeters above too low? Yeah, maybe even lower than this, to be honest. Maybe this is 11 millimeters and it's 3 millimeters up. Maybe. We'll see how that looks. Okay. So here we're like, make me a sketch on this face. We're gonna do a full-on circle here of the 11 millimeter diameter. Cool. Then this guy gets padded out. Pad this shit by 3. What the fuck is going on? Delete this groove, maybe? There we go. There we go. So now this will be held in place, and then we do the groove on this guy. So this all in here is going to be mostly like through this section, right? And so we probably want like the last millimeter or so to be the actual rounded part. I guess. Fuck it. And then I wonder if you want like the top. I think you want this to be constrained to this. I want this to be on this axis, which it's not really letting me select. I don't know why. Can I click the line? Hello? Oh, it's because it's fucking in the fucking plane. I see. Okay, so this is here. Can we fucking hide? Like, just get the fuck out of here. I guess it does need to be. That's so fucking hard to see, though. Ugh. Gross. I guess we'll just toggle it a bunch. Alright. So I guess, like, the top of the button being, like, kind of flat isn't the end of the world. Why is this behaving this way? I don't like the way this is all... Oh, there we go. Like, maybe that's fine. It's not really... We don't have to be too precise here. We don't have to be too precise. Bump, bump. We're doing art. Not engineering. Sure. Over-constrained. Fuck you. And then let's add a couple. Whop. 6.5. And then whatever the fuck this is. 2. And then this whole thing can move. So I guess we fix, like, this guy's height. Okay. Then we make our groove. There we go. Yeah, that's good enough. Sure. Look at that. It's coming together. It's coming together. And then I think what I want to do here is just make a hole in the bottom. So I think just a cylinder that is the height of the button is probably fine. Oh, no, wait, because he needs to be... Hold on, let me think. I'm thinking. So the whole thing, this whole enclosure needs to be able to move by 3.8 mil, or needs to be above... It needs to be able to move by the button depress amount, which is what? What did we buy? It was 3.8 millimeter height, operating force 1.5, and then the difference between this black and blue. So his travel is 0.2 millimeters, right? So this whole thing needs to be able to move by 0.2. So I guess that means that we change the attachment of the original sketch. But then we have to change all of the heights, which is annoying. So maybe we just Boolean out a 0.2 millimeter chunk of shit. I think that's reasonable. Uh, 0.2. And then this guy, I want him to be symmetric. Attachment mode. Can I not... Can I not center him? Align origin XY. No. He doesn't like that. He doesn't like that. Origin of the primitive is on the corner. Oh. That's annoying. That's annoying. I can see that, though. So I guess I just offset it. Fuck it. I think that's fucking stupid, but whatever. Whatever. Yeah, sure. Usually easier to sketch. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I've never clicked this button before, and it sounded so good. We gotta be careful about tolerances here. Right, so this is gonna be... I think I want to make like a tolerance variable that I can just change. So how do you do that? You click this button. And then here we say tolerance. And then here I set this to like 0. 0.2 feels kind of low. But fuck it. We can adjust it later if it doesn't work. Okay, so now I can go back in here and we can say your height is, 0.2 is like the expected plus var set tolerance. There we go, so it gets a little taller. Dude, what is this song? I don't think I've ever put the... this is just not in the fucking playlist. That's cool. Where is this coming from? Why is it doing this to me? Okay, whatever. It's fine. I don't really care. It's like, what the fuck is it? Fucking Spotify, man. Alright. So then we're like... Can I do like a Boolean operation between like... Oh, these have to be between different bodies? Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know. Take that shit out then. Add body this guy. Add body this, add body, this. Box. Are you kidding me? How do I fucking use this shit? Most of the part design tools have a Boolean operation built in. Oh, interesting. So you're like, I should just like pocket that shit or something instead? Whole? Is that what you mean? Box is already subtracted. Oh, what the fuck? That's so confusing. What the fuck did I just do? I'm like, okay, so you're saying like, if I just look at this, then I look at the subtractive box stage. Oh yeah, this is just changing it. Wow, that's confusing. It's a subtract row. Yeah, I guess so, huh? All right. If you say so, that seems, reasonable enough, I guess. All right. So can we add another subtractive cylinder? Whose radius, I guess, is going to... We need to, like, hollow out a hole that's big enough for this jig here, right? So we just, like, pick a radius that's, like, kind of fine for that, like this. And then this has to go all the way up to the height of the button, right? So this is going to be 3.8 millimeters plus the tolerance. No, just 3.8 millimeters. Because if we went hot or higher, then the tolerance that we added to the outside edge here doesn't work. Minus the tolerance. Yeah, then we're doubling up. But I don't think we have to double up. I was thinking the tolerance was like how much slop I need in general. And so here I don't need to subtract because it's already accounted for on the bottom edge. I think. Maybe. And then that means that we have to make sure that these... You need to subtract the throw of the switch. But the throw of the switch is already accounted for in the bottom, the distance from this to the bottom of the PCB. Right? Am I crazy? Like, I think what I've done here is I have, like, this guy is gonna, like, perfectly sit on the switch, right? Theoretically, right? Then the gap between, like, the bottom of the switch down here, let's just, like, exaggerate this. Like, this gap is, like, switch depressed distance plus some tolerance, right? So this thing's just kind of, like, hovering above the ground, sitting only on the top of the button. And then when you press on him, this all goes down. That works. I mean, it might be fucking stupid, right? I don't really know mechanical design at all. I'm just kind of, like, making stuff up as I go. I haven't, like, thought about, like, the physics of anything. I'm just like, I don't know. Geometry, man. I know shape. I put block in hole is, like, about the level of, like, thinking I'm doing here. I suspect the height of this whole cylinder... Like, do we need to reduce this height a little bit in case, like, we push all the way up against the bottom of the controller? Probably not. I think because we already kind of, like, eyeballed this in general the first time. Yeah, I mean, I don't see any reason that this wouldn't work the way it is. I guess we just have to make sure that in our little jig, this pad needs to be, like, really fucking short, right? Because it needs to be smaller than the height to where the PCB, or to, like, the top of the button. This is only 1 millimeter. So what the fuck have I done wrong here that makes it so that this is intersecting? This is 3.8 millimeters. 5 millimeter radius. So why is this not doing anything? Right, am I crazy? Like, shouldn't I be seeing... I'm on the wrong fucking plane? How the fuck did that happen? I must have clicked something by mistake, because there's no way that this makes any sense. I want this thing to just be, like, on the origin. Wait, and then where's my first box? My first cylinder? That, like, took him off the ground. Oh, that was the box. The box took him off the ground, so that's fine. It's this cylinder is just, like, fucked. Let's just add him again and see what happens. See, this is aligned correctly. I must have clicked a reference on something by mistake. Right here, he said, this says selecting, which is really dangerous. I just don't want that. Okay, so what do we say radius was? It just needed to be, like, small enough, like this was fine. And then the height was 3.8, I think is what we said. Which should be just fine. There we go. Hype. Hype. Okay. So this guy's probably mad about something. What's he pissed about? Is it because I didn't attach it to anything? Does that make him unhappy? It's still got like a little purple exclamation mark in there, which I'm not the biggest fan of. Cylinder still touched after recompute, which was at 1502. So that's not what it's complaining about. Can I just like refresh this thing? See if it triggers more errors? No? No errors? So why the fuck? What does the purple exclamation mark mean? Oh, is that he wasn't attached? He wasn't attached. All right. So that should be fine. I'm not really worried about anything there. Okay, so this guy all needs to go inside like a cylinder that will attach to the rest of the controller to keep him in place. So I think that what we want to do is we want to build like the housing that this expects, and then we can like boolean that in to the controller after, right? So we need something that we can like boolean intersect with this thing, right? So probably some I don't know what we're gonna do about like this tilted face. Right, because if we were to just boolean intersect, then this will kind of come up, but only where the button goes, which is kind of fucked. I'll have to think about that. But for the rest of these, it should be pretty straightforward. And we can always edit the geometry. I guess that's what we'll do. Is we'll just edit the geometry of the external section. So we'll copy paste it in, then kind of just move the vertices around until it kind of makes sense with the shape that we've got. I think that works. Do I want to limit rotation of these guys? I don't think there's any reason to. I'm not really too worried about it. Right? If the buttons like rotate in the slot, I don't think that causes any problems. We can always add grooves to this later. In FreeCAD, you can do Boolean fragments and keep the bits that you want to keep. That makes sense. Yeah, I think this is fine. I don't see any reason. I'm not really worried about it rotating. Okay, so let's make a housing. So this here is button. Let's rename this button. This is a jig test holder. And then we need a new body for housing. So this is going to be on a cylinder on this plane that is bigger. Right, so he's going to be like, I guess, let's think for a second. We're going to do two circles. Okay, we're going to say that the distance between the two, I don't know if we can specify that. Like the difference in radius here, nice, is going to be like, we're going to make this thing 1 millimeter thick. Little thick boy. And then this radius is just going to be the 14 millimeters. Something's wrong here. Hold on. So where did this guy's radius come from? Like the button initial radius? We just wrote 13 here. So this, it's almost like this should be a variable that we can use in the other body. You can name that constraint. Oh, really? So I just go here and I say like button width or like a column width or something. Then I can reference that from somewhere else. That's kind of sick. So here I can just be like, yo, this is like, where does it come from? Column constraints. Oh, sick. Like something like this. Constraints dot sketch name. Oh, hype. Okay, wait, that's kind of sick. So this is just sketch. Sick. I've been making variables for this every time, but that's way cooler. So you're saying like theoretically I could do this. He's not liking that, but maybe I didn't save. It's because it's the wrong sketch because I'm a dumbass. Oh no, wait, no it's not. Wait, yes it is. It's sketch 001. Yeah. Okay. I'm getting it. Dude, this is the best part of streaming, is that you guys just people just tell me what to do. Oh, fuck yeah, dude. That's awesome. Okay, then I want to add the tolerance, right? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that shit. Oh, this is actually... Yeah, this is right. This is right. And then we pad this out by this height. Plus... Sorry, I'm just thinking. So the hole in Blender is already this approximately. So we should be chill just to extrude this up. Is that it? Yeah, I guess so. And then we probably want to raise this thing off of the surface. Right? This shouldn't go all the way down to the PCB. This in fact could be, this could only drop down to like here and it would be fine, right? This thing doesn't need to go all the way down at all. So maybe we do like a attachment offset, like we just kind of move them up in Z, fuck it. Right? Like this could just like come all like down here, who gives a fuck? Seems reasonable to me. Okay, and then we just pad this shit by... I guess here also, it doesn't really matter because we can just adjust this geometry in Blenderland, but I guess like we can just kind of eyeball it to here, right? This is like approximately where it should end up because it needs to go in the wall. So lower than here, but higher than here is like fine. Sure. Seems reasonable. And then this tolerance seems too small. I'll just say it. I'll say it. I want to do 0.4, I think. Oh. Okay. Save. And then now can we make like kind of the whole jig to print it once just to see if the button feels good? So I kind of want to do it in Blender. Hand wavy, it just kind of feels like what I want. So I think for now we're okay to export this and this. We don't need the outside rim, I don't think. No, we probably do. We probably want to export all three. So this is like holder. 4 things at the bottom need a base. Yeah. Which I guess is fine here. Yeah. I was going to do that separately. But I can't just do it here and then everything just kind of works. No, it's okay. I'll do it in Blender. I'll do it in Blender. Oopsies. New. New. So can we just... I want all of these. Export. So we import all of these and then add like a mounting plate. And then what we'll do later is when we're like integrating this thing properly, like we'll just kind of grab these edge rings and we'll like extend them into whatever surface we're mounting them on. Right? And then this guy gets merged with these two things. I guess in reality for this test, this stuff can kind of come like this. So that we just can, it doesn't really matter. I guess what we should do is we should actually try to make a surface that like this button would stick out of. But we can't do that easily with this jig setup. You would need to do like another plate on top, which I guess we can do. Yeah, we can just like we can like merge this with do I want to? This is a good enough test for now. Because really what I want to test is like the feeling of the pushing of the button. That's really the only thing I really eagerly want to test right now. What's going on here? What the fuck is going on? Ah, that's what's going on. Alright, so we do like something like that. Alright. Button test jig. So I'll print this. I wonder if I can just print this now. I think so. Oops, these should be unions. There we go. So now I can print this. while we do some other stuff. Flat pack run. Okay. He's hype. Everything about this looks about right. I fucking changed some settings on the fucking on the filament settings because I was getting like stringing before. I think I changed it to increase the heat of the nozzle. Oh, this is at 220, so that's fine. Maybe it was this I brought up to say you have to be at least 220 here. And then the textured plate temperature I brought up to get it to stick a little better. I think these kind of made the prints work less like shit. And then close. And then did I do something? There's no like hole filling I need to worry about here, right? It's not gonna like overfill or anything. I think this is fine. Yeah, fuck it. I think we can just print this. Let me just go check that there's nothing like stuck on the printer right now. All right, and I guess we want to print. I need to print the button as well. I forgot. So we want to do a print where we do the button here as well. Just print these guys next to each other and see how it feels. Are these guys lined up? I assume that he's not gonna like float one, right? He's just gonna be chill. Sure. I wonder if I needed. It just didn't say I needed supports for this guy, but it feels like it's kind of sketchy just letting him like float that shit. Right, like inside, this just all floats, and he's just gonna be chill with that. You know, I guess he's fine if he's fine, but you know, the man knows best. All right. So we should be able to go back. Jesus, that scared me. It was homing and it hit the edge. I was like, is it broken? I probably should have saved that. Oopies. Alright, let's get us back on the playlist that we're supposed to be on. Not that Maroon 5 and Wiz Khalifa combined are any better than whatever the fuck we were just listening to, but it's the shit that I picked, you know? Okay. So we should be able to just be like, let me import those like it was this, right? Which is, you know, order of magnitudes off. But now this, we can start like, what's with this origin? Is it just me, or is that guy's origin like mega fucky? Seems fine here. Oh, it's because I moved him in edit mode, like a dumbass. All right. So this guy should start being able to just like drop around here. Did I do it again? Oh, I was fucking scaling according to the fucking 3D cursor. God damn it. There we go. And then can we like just do this? There we go. Do you see that design for 3D printing article that made the HN rounds recently? You don't seem to need tips at the moment, but people seem to like it. I did skim it, and then I was like, everything that they're talking about is just like more, it's like more complex than like I understand. Like, it's like they were talking about like physical like strength and stuff, right? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm like you're so far beyond me that like fuck it. You know? You know? I guess what we'll do is we'll import the buttons and just kind of place them in the assembly in a way that like looks okay. And then figure it out from there. Okay. 0.001. Boom, boom, boom. All right. Right, because now I can just kind of do this. Okay. And then this needs to be vertically high enough. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So, button's not high enough, huh? Right, because we made it so that the origin is supposed to line up with the top of the PCB, which would be like here. And this guy is too thin. So these buttons, we need to make the height of that segment this like pad here. Not this pad, I guess. Oh yeah, yes, this pad. 4 millimeters. Oh, and then this groove needs to get anchored to the right thing. Right? So like this height needs to be determined by like where the top of the button is, I guess. So we need to do like in this sketch, we project in the top, and then instead of this constraint, we do like a constraint where we're like I guess like pick this and this, no, this and vertically constrain it this way. So like, you know, just go like a little shorter or something. Or maybe this is stupid. Maybe it's 0. In which case this should just be constraint, like a point constraint, not a distance constraint. Right? We should just be like, make sure that like this point is on this line. Yeah, okay. Sure. Now he's mad? Hype? Why? Because this thing's not being visible at all? There we go. I don't wanna be. Okay, so now we export. We didn't change anything but the button, so we can just re-export the button. And then here, I guess, can we import the button? And then can we do something like clever, like copy paste the geometry? I wonder if you can like, I guess we can just copy paste the transform. Oh fuck, I hit tab on the wrong object. Hard life. Just like you. It'd be cool to be able to like swap out the geometry of this thing easily. But this is fine for now. Copy. Paste. Nice, okay. That's a lot better. Alright. I guess this should be beveled, huh? If my thumb's gonna be hitting that, seems like this guy should be like, you know, a little. Can we do this first? I guess no, we have to do it after this thing. So this groove looks like he's creating kind of two edges here, surprisingly, but that's fine. So we hit the bevel. Oh, no, he's good, he's good. Yeah, that's probably fine, right? Part orientation was as far as I got, was what I wanted to say. Oh, yeah. I think I saw something. Yeah, that seemed. What was it? It was like 3D. News, ycombinator.com, 3D printing. Yeah, this one. Yeah, I looked at the pictures here, and then I saw this picture and was like, okay, this is beyond what I need, you know? But yeah, this all makes a lot of sense. Again, it's like all for part strength, though, and I'm like, whatever. This I should have read, though. This seems sick. Yeah, maybe I'll give it this like a second look later, because it does seem actually kind of pretty useful. Because while you're saying it doesn't look like you need help, it's like what you're seeing is like unabashed confidence, right? It's like not like real. Like, it's not like I like know what I'm doing. It's just like I just like making decisions, and then figure it out later. I'm a big fan of like you hit a problem and then that's fine. Problems are good. They're learning opportunities. But it does mean that like I'm giving off an air of correctness that doesn't exist. All right, so I guess we just can kind of like move these around. As long as they stay on the right Z-plane, we're kind of chilling. So here we're going to need to like drop down. So this is kind of interesting, actually. We might actually want to change the controller geometry to like fix this. You've probably done some game dev before. Not really. I've done no real game dev. I've like made like a bit of my own game engine for shits and giggies, but it's not like I really knew what I was doing. I'm a little worried that this tolerance is too tight. Kind of just generally, this is a little scary. So we might have to swap, we might have to print a, but we can always fix that with a skinnier button later. So like, if we get it wrong, then we just reprint the buttons with a slimmer top. That'll be fine. Hype. All right. Cool. Yeah, so I think that we try to flatten out this top here. Game dev is like 9% polished, not gonna lie. Yeah, I think that like my experience playing games for sure is that is by far the most important bit. Is like art and feel in general is extremely important. Like just like small sound design things, I think are making like hella big differences. All right, let's make. Can we just turn off these modifiers that sculpting doesn't suck? Oh, it's gonna take fucking forever. But I think we just kind of like bring as much of this shit up as we can. Maybe I think if we undo the modifiers bottom to top, actually, it'll probably go faster than top to bottom. Because it's recomputing everything after. Making content is the actual hard bits. Yeah, I know that a lot of people are into like trying to do procedural generation to fix that, but they're all wrong. Is like right because like I've heard that like you have to be very careful about like expecting that randomly generated content is as good as curated content. But yeah, you just have to be very careful. So understanding and like just design. Yeah, you just need to be like a designer. All right, let's just pull some shit up. Like I'm sure my hand won't mind if I do that. I'm sure he'll be fine. Uh, sure. Yeah, blaze it. That's probably fine. Could put the solidify back on and see. Does that fuck anything up? Nope. Oh yeah, I've done a lot of proc gen and massive amount of work to avoid the 1,000 bowl of oatmeal problem. Yeah. I'm sure I've never heard that phrase, but I'm sure that when you say 1,000 bowls of oatmeal, I know exactly what you mean. It's like I don't want to eat 1,000 bowls of oatmeal, right? I'm sure that's what you're talking about. Where is like the cylinder one? Here we go. Hello, I clicked this button. Sir, please cut the holes. Oh my god, I'm gonna lose my mind. Show me. Show me the money. What game was that a cheat in? Show me the money game cheat. It sounds like so familiar. Oh, is it StarCraft? I think I encountered it in Age of Mythology 2 cheat codes. Or maybe it was Age of Mythology. Maybe there was no. Was there a show me the money in here? No. Maybe I just heard it on the internet then. Hello? There we go. All right. So I guess in terms of like a mock PCB, all we have to do is like put that test jig in the same locations as all of these guys and merge them with the plane. Then we have to like cut this guy out a little bit. And then like design mounts and stuff for him, which is going to be a bit of a pain. And then we also have to put the stuff on the back. So we got to make sure that like these triggers are printed with like the right depth so that the buttons will sit. But dude, I need a break. This modeling stuff like really like eats my brain, dude. I don't know what it is. I just like I can't do it forever. So I think I'm gonna take a break. There's not really a lot left here, right? It's like apply the cylinder holes to the right spots, right? Like so like kind of like bring this up like this and extend it down. Even then you don't really have to extend it down. Copy this a few times. Add the buttons to the back here for my pinkies. Fix the triggers and add the buttons for those, the button holders. Figure out how to like install and test. This might be a problem actually. I didn't consider this. This has to get fixed. The fact that the joystick might collide with my trigger, that's not good. Not good. So maybe we do one more happy hour of this. I think there's enough stuff to do tomorrow. I don't know if I was gonna say I'll shore it up tonight, but I probably won't. So a little bit more modeling to do. Oh, yeah, we have bumpers and stuff too. So definitely, there's like we kind of did this. So we have like all of this stuff to do, as well as fix trigger placement to not collide with left joystick. Bumpers is going to be a little bit of effort. Split the front brackets. Yeah, there's enough to do another day of this. So I think we got there. We're getting a lot closer though. Look at this. Look at this shit. Like today we did this, all of these buttons. We did these triggers. So I think we're making progress. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what we saw, we stream most days. We aim for 12:30 to 4 Pacific time. It is 3:40 now, so anywhere between 3 hours ago and half an hour from now is when I try to be live for. We're working on this Xbox controller, but there's a lot of stuff in the backlog if you want to check it out on the YouTube. Let's see. We'll throw a couple things up there. We have like our little game dev, like memory allocators. We got terminal emulator, QR code decoder, like I don't know, debugger, operating system, font rendering. There's all sorts of stuff in here if you want to check it out. We try to post such that the main YouTube segment doesn't like miss any major pieces of content. However, there is some stuff that I like isn't well organized. It's hard to title, hard to thumbnail, and so like some segments of the stream end up kind of paywalled behind this like join button. So if you want everything or you want to support, you can join here or on Patreon or sub on Twitch, and you'll get like all VODs. Please consider supporting. Of course, you don't have to, but this content will end someday when I run out of money, and so like every money I make kind of like extends the life of the stream a little bit. So please consider, but of course, no sweat if you don't. I think that's all the plugging we gotta do. Maybe we look for someone to raid.